I want to ask you, what about you? What's something that you did wrong in your last relationship and something that he did wrong in your last relationship?
So, since being out here, like, I guess reflecting on everything that I've done, not done, like, what's happened. I know communication was one thing that I know I need to work on. I'm still working on it now. Um, there's times where like I wasn't really 100% in the relationship. I was more trying to go through the motions. Like, okay, I have to wake up, go to work. This is what time he gets home. This is what I have to do. Like we're,
You're like
oh,
roommates almost,
yeah, kind of,
going through
yeah,
the motions. Wait,
yeah.
like what do you mean communication issues? Like what communication issues did you have specifically?
So I always keep things bottled up. That's my big thing. So whenever there's something's bothering me or anything along those lines, I tend to keep it to myself because part of me is like, okay, like it's whatever. Didn't mean to happen. Didn't mean to say that wrong thing or like whatever. So I tend to keep things like bottled up.
Okay.
And then on his side, uh, I don't even know. I'm gonna be honest. I was blindsided by the whole thing. So I was kind of like I
Did he
feel
cheat on you? Like what happened?
so. I had some old coworkers tell me that he did with another manager from outside of another state because he was on a team to help do like
So
makeup
y'all work
reason.
together?
So we didn't work together. So he was a manager at his own store, and I was an assistant manager at my own store. We're like separate stores. So he was over there, I was over here. So we're doing our own thing. Kept it separate. Like kept our marriage and work separate because it could get ugly.
Yeah.
I mean, and had a lot of people like after I move up here, I had like 4 or 5 people say, "Yeah, he cheated on you with this other manager that's from New Mexico." They were getting really close at like the last manager meeting, so I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess that makes sense," because obviously it didn't line up with all the things that he told me. But since now, hearing all that, it's like, okay, that makes more sense.
Now, be honest. You were you playing games with them though?
No,
But like you said that you weren't communicating. Like was that legitimately you just being like, I don't know how to communicate, or was that legitimately you being like because this is what most women do. They stonewall. So like you just stonewall. Like, you don't want to talk about it. You're not gonna say anything. Like you
yeah.
just don't say nothing. That's still emotionally manipulation. So like, did you do that? Did you stonewall him to the point wherever he went and cheated?
So I didn't know that he went out and cheated. Like I didn't know any of that. I thought, everything was, right as rain, everything was good.
But were
You know,
you just consistently stonewalling him though?
I would say so, yeah. But
Like it's a
uh,
very normal thing in a toxic relationship. It's just to me it's crazy because like in those relationships, like I would just instantly be like, yeah, well, I probably shouldn't have done that because that like if I don't communicate with the person who is my husband,
mhm.
that's what's gonna happen. Like you have to communicate. Like so, what did he do wrong that made you not want to communicate with him?
I felt like it was more if I was to say something to him, he would get mad. And he's very like it's either my way or no way.
Hmm.
And that's how usually a lot of our arguments started was because like say, oh, I didn't like um how do I say this? Like, he has a younger brother, so I was like, oh, I didn't like how your younger brother did this and that. I was like, well, it's none of your damn business. Yada yada yada. And I was like, yeah, I understand it's not my business, but I mean, your family kind of makes it everybody's business. So, uh, I'm supposed if I'm going to say something about it, it's like me being more like a concerned like sister-in-law or concerned family member than somebody just wanting to have like cheese man talk talk shit and all that stuff.
Hmm.
So I feel like there was a lot of that just because I mean if I said something he didn't like it, starts fights.
Hmm.
So throughout the marriage I just learned to keep things to myself, keep things quiet, and so eventually it did eat up at me and I did explode, implode, like whatever.
Everybody has to go to therapy now for their marriages because I've like honestly like I guarantee you like it wasn't like either one of y'all was the bad one. Y'all both sucked. Honestly, I
Yeah.
bet. I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like y'all both probably made a lot of mistakes,
Yeah.
and you both needed to go to counseling to like be able to actually communicate things together like you're supposed to in a relationship. The big thing also, is like, was he the breadwinner or were you the breadwinner?
He was a breadwinner. He made more money than I did.
Well, that's why he wanted to be the leader. Then he wanted to make the final decisions on certain things.
Hmm.
Did you still make the final decision on other things? Like, did he let you make the final decision on certain things that you were the expert in?
No.
No,
Mm-mm.
like even groceries or
No.
anything, like anything. He wanted to make the final decision on every single thing.
Yeah, like almost
Because
like
that's
every
super
single thing.
weird.
Yeah.
Like
I
that
mean,
doesn't like okay.
there's
So when y'all went to dinner, did he choose your dinner plate?
well, no, not that, but like of course, like if I wanted like the pasta or whatever, I get the pasta.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, so because there are guys that are that much of a control freak, where they
mm,
literally want to control even that like type of shit. But like, I would just say though, like if a guy's a leader and he's actually the breadwinner, just let him fucking be a little bit of a leader. It's not even like you. It's not everything, but if he was fighting for every single thing, that's stupid. But like, I mean, I don't know. The way I do it with my girl is if you're the expert at it, you're the one who make a decision on it because that's not my field.
right.
We're complementary to each other. We'll go back to the original topic, guys. I'm sorry, I always get off topic for the whole beginning. But yeah, the whole point of tonight's show is: do women love money more than men now? Our first question is: in today's society, do you believe that women prioritize financial stability in a partner more than men do? Do women prioritize financial stability in a partner more than men do? What do you think?
I'm gonna say yes, 100%.
They want, yeah.
Stability, because okay, so I grew up first generation. Both my parents are from Mexico. Was born here in the States, so I guess I was like pushed into how I grew up, how I grew up thinking, because I grew up as the man has to make the most money. The men have to provide everything for the wife. The wife has to stay home and take care of the kids, cooking, cleaning, all that stuff. Same thing now for like how I was seeing like the younger single Hispanic women. They're like, oh, I need a man. If we're gonna find a man, it has to be like a good job to where he can take care of me, my future kids, and all this other stuff. So I'm gonna say yes on that.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think? In today's society, do you believe that women prioritize financial stability in a partner more than men do? More than men do.
In the last 3 to 4 years, yes.
You think before the last 3 or 4 years, women didn't care about a guy's financial stability?
I think it was more of a subconscious thing than a them realizing consciously that that's what kind of needs to happen a little bit.
You
It
think
needs to be
like
stepped.
before it was subconscious and now within the last few years it's
There's
more
more talk.
conscious? It's
There's
more
more.
consciously talked about?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I could understand that. I definitely think it's very subconscious. There's something called hypergamy that where women always like to date across and up social hierarchies. 52% is the statistical number that they found for that you would like a guy to make 52% more than you in income wise.
I
So
got a
yeah,
question.
yeah.
Follow up with that. So, whenever you say the past 3 to 4 years,
Mhm.
women start subconsciously thinking or consciously thinking that they're looking for provisioning. Um, is this more women or is this about yourself?
Mm.
Given that you're 28, and usually like the women's, actual valuable years is 18 to 24, 25 ish.
I think this is really more of a collective thing. I've always paid attention. So it's like for me personally, it's been so collectively pushed consciously into my stratosphere where it's like my friends are starting to talk about it. So it's like peaking within me. But I still honestly feel like in the last 3 to 4 years, it's definitely been a very big push and a talk about the men needing to step up and provide. Like it's really more about these a lot of more of like a health consciousness movement within women, and then it just started like prevailing forward like, okay, I'm tired of working, we've been working, I kind of need like a
Some
man.
help,
Yeah.
a partner, somebody to go
Yes.
halves on rent with.
They better come to you and start reading them cards because business better start be booming.
Yeah,
Can I add to that?
yeah, go for
I
it.
think it's also another thing too, as like girls turning into women, slowly maturing. I think that's when they also realize, like, oh, like when you're like younger me when I was 21, like I didn't care. I just wanted to party and drink and go out and do all this stuff. But now since girls are starting to get older, and like the stigma of oh, you have to hurry and get married, but by this age and the
Mhm.
time is also adding on, I guess, that pressure for women as well. So as women, start maturing, that's
You're,
how I see it.
you're gonna wake up a little bit more as you mature more. You
Yeah,
think?
yeah.
Okay.
Hey y'all, Sergio here. I just want to mention I've created a completely free guide that shows you exactly how I went from having low confidence and being painfully awkward around women to easily meeting and dating numerous high quality desirable women in real life without the use of any dating apps or social media. So if you're struggling to get out there, if you have approach anxiety or don't know what to say or how to interact with women to make them want you and are sick of using dating apps with low value girls that hundreds of other guys have been chatting with, click the link in the description below to grab your free guide right now. And if you want private mentorship with me personally to help guide you every step of the way in this process, check out my mentorship program in the description too. I would be happy to help you reach your dating goals and overcome any obstacle you may face. And trust me, if I can do it, you can do it too. I hope to see you soon. Peace out.